All right. Hello and welcome everyone. Today's RTFQ session is also on ancient India. पिछला वाला भी ancient India पे था. 50 questions we had continued. We had covered. We are going to continue with that, right? So questions 51 to 100 महाजनपद period to post Gupta period ये वाला section हम cover करने वाले हैं. Let us start with question number 51. दो lists हैं, इनमें match करना है names of महाजनपदास with their capitals. कुरु, पांचाल, कौशल, वत्सा. लिस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल्स इज साकेत, कौशाम्बी, अहिछत्र एंड इंद्रप्रस्थ. तो बताओ, कुरु, वेयर वाज इट लोकेटेड? रीजन ऑफ दिल्ली एंड हरियाणा. कैपिटल इंद्रप्रस्थ. पांचाल, वेयर वाज इट लोकेटेड? नॉर्थ वेस्टर्न पार्ट ऑफ यूपी बॉर्डरिंग नेपाल, राइट. तो बरेली एक्सेट्रा वाले डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स. कैपिटल अहिछत्र. सेकंड कैपिटल काम्पिल्या, राइट. कौशल northern UP, Shravasti and Saket. These were the capitals. Saket was the ancient name for Ayodhya. Vatsa, eastern UP, present day Allahabad wale region. Capital at Kaushambi. Right. So correct combination कौन सा वाला है? B. B. 4, 3, 1, 2. Total how many Mahajanpadas? 16 महाजनपदास. कैन यू अरेंज देम? अच्छा, कहाँ कहाँ पे पाए जाते थे ये? हाउ मेनी महाजनपदास और वर देर इन द इंडस वैली? हाउ मेनी इन द गंगा वैली? हाउ मेनी इन द नर्मदा वैली? वर देर एनी इन द गोदावरी वैली एटसेट्रा? अवंती किस वैली में था? नर्मदा में या फिर गोदावरी में? नर्मदा. एंड अस्मका between Narmada and Godavari Valley, right? Any in the Indus Valley? काम्बोज एंड गांधार, राइट. तो इंडस वैली वाले हैं काम्बोज. कैन राइट देम डाउन. एंड गांधार. काम्बोज covering the regions of western Jammu and Kashmir, parts of Afghanistan, right. Capital Rajpura, present day Rajouri, right. Gandhara, northern Punjab portion of Pakistan. Capital Takshila. Then coming to India proper, you have Kuru, Panchal, Matsya, Sursen, Vatsa, Chedi, कौशल, काशी, मल्ला, वज्जी, मगध, अंगा, देन कुछ और भी हैं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल अवंती एंड अस्मका और अस्सका. दो नाम हैं, दोनों वैलिड हैं, राइट. कुरु कैपिटल इंद्रप्रस्थ. पांचाल कैपिटल अहिछत्र और काम्पिल्या. मत्स्य कैपिटल विराटनगर, प्रेजेंट डे जयपुर और बैरात. सुरसेन कैपिटल मथुरा. Vatsa capital, Kaushambi. Chedi capital, Chedi where? Madhya Pradesh, the Bundelkhand region, right? Capital was Suktimati. Kaushal capital, Saket और अयोध्या. काशी कैपिटल, वाराणसी और राजघाट और सारनाथ. ठीक है, जगह एक ही है, नाम अलग अलग है. काशी इज ऑल्सो वाराणसी. मल्ला कैपिटल, पावापुरी. वज्जी कैपिटल, वैशाली. मगध कैपिटल, अर्लियर कैपिटल, राजगीर. लेटर शिफ्टेड टू पाटलिपुत्र. बाय विच रूलर? उदयन. अंगा कैपिटल, चंपा. On the border of Bihar and West Bengal. Avanti in the Narmada Valley. Capitals, Ujjain and Maheshmati. Asmaka capital, Utali और प्रतिष्ठान in महाराष्ट्र. राइट, तो ये तो हो गए the names of the Mahajanapadas and their capitals. What was the nature of these political organizations? Were all of them hereditary monarchies? Most of them were monarchical kingdoms, but some of them were also republics. But these were not proper republics. Rather, they were oligarchies where power was in the hands of a few aristocratic families. इसमें से कौन कौन से रिपब्लिक्स हैं? एक एक करके यहाँ से बताओ. काम्भोज, नॉट गांधारा. कुरु, पांचाल, मल्ला and Vajji. These were republics, also known as Ganas. In the context of Indian history, what was the time period in which these Mahajanapadas flourished? 6th century BC to the 5th century BC, right? Most of them emerged during this period, right? This period also corresponded with some intellectual churning in India in the form of the emergence of several heterodox religious sects, including some important ones like बुद्धिज्म एंड जैनिज्म. ठीक है, तो कुछ बेसिक इंफॉर्मेशन है इनके बारे में, यू शुड ऑल बी अवेयर ऑफ. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, विच वन ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज नॉट लिस्टेड एज वन ऑफ द 16 महाजनपदास इन द प्री मौर्यन पीरियड? कुरु, वात्सा, गंधारा और कलिंगा. आंसर इज कलिंगा. राइट, दिस इज नॉट इन द लिस्ट ऑफ 16 महाजनपदास. A Buddhist text, Anguttara Nikaya, mentions the name of the 16 Mahajanapadas which have collectively been called the Solasana Mahajanapada. The Anguttara Nikaya is one of the 5 volumes of which a Buddhist text? The Sutta Pitaka, right? तो अंगुत्रा निकाय कौन से बुद्धिस्ट काउंसिल में इमर्ज हुआ? फर्स्ट बुद्धिस्ट काउंसिल, right? That means the people who were compiling the Sutta Pitaka had knowledge of the 16 Mahajanapadas. It was far and widely known. ठीक, इसमें कलिंगा का नाम has not been counted as the Mahajanapadas. Number 53. Which one of the following statements about ancient Indian Mahajanapadas is correct? A. All Mahajanapadas were oligarchies where power was exercised by a group of people. No, most of them were kingdoms where power resided in the hands of a single individual. 5 of them were confederacies or oligarchies. तो पहला वाला गलत है. B. All Mahajanapadas were located in eastern India. ऑल्सो इनकरेक्ट. हमने देखा इंडस वैली में भी हैं, अपर गंगा वैली में भी है, मिडिल गंगा वैली में भी है, नर्मदा वैली में भी है एंड गोदावरी वैली में भी है. सो दिस इज ऑल्सो इनकरेक्ट. सी. नो आर्मी वॉज मेंटेन्ड बाय द महाजनपदास. दिस इज ऑल्सो इनकरेक्ट. इन फैक्ट the Mahajanapadas are set apart from the earlier political formations because they had the ability to raise large armies, right? And this led to constant warfare for supremacy among each of them. So last वाला जो है Buddhist and Jain text list 16 Mahajanapadas, this is correct. तो एक तो नाम आपने देखा है कौन सा, which Buddhist text? अंगुत्रा निकाय है. जैन टेक्स्ट में से the Bhagavati Sutra is a Jain text of a later period which also contains the name of 16 Mahajanapadas. Next question, number 54. Which of the following statements is associated with Mahajanapada? 1. Puhar was part of Mahajanapada. Correct or incorrect? Puhar क्या है? It is a port city, also known as Pumpatpur, located in the northern portion of Tamil Nadu. It was the most important port of the Cholas. ठीक है? So was it part of the Mahajanapadas? No. पहला वाला हो गया incorrect. Second, during Mahajanapadas, cities and use of iron grew along with the development of coinage. Is this correct? Yes. So the period of Mahajanapadas was characterized by growing urbanization. New city-states as well as kingdoms were emerging. Therefore, cities had started to develop firstly as centers of administration and military encampments. This was also a period of expanding agriculture due to the growing use of iron technology, right, for both plowing as well as harvesting purposes. Iron was also used to clear forests, right? As a result, because of the rising agricultural prosperity, the agrarian surplus was increasing. People had time and resources with them which could be utilized in other activities. किन activities में होंगे? Secondary economic activities, crafts production and trading activities. Now, what were the centers of crafts production and trading activities? Once again, the cities. So the Mahajanpad period is also known as the period of second urbanization. So second वाला statement ये सही है. Third, no Mahajanpadas were located in the Brahmaputra valley. Is this correct? This is also correct. कौन से इसमें से सही है? B, 2 and 3 only. Number 55. Mahajanpada situated on the bank of the Godavari river was Asaka. Capital बताया था? कोटाली, right? पैठान, प्रतिष्ठान. Number 56. Which one of the following statements about coins struck during 200 BCE to 300 CE in the Indian subcontinent is not correct? A. The Indo-Greeks introduced bilingual and bi-script legend on their coins. This is correct. So the Indo-Greeks were the first to issue such coins coins having inscriptions in two languages using two scripts. एक script तो Greek होगी, एक language Greek होगी. What was the other script that they used? Kharoshti, and language Prakrit. ठीक है? So first is correct. This is not the answer. B. The Kushans minted large quantities of gold coins as well as copper coins of low denomination. Is this correct? This is also correct. So Indian coinage reached new heights under the Kushans. The Kushan period was one of unparalleled economic prosperity. India was trading directly with the known world, with the Western world as well as with China. Okay? This resulted in the proliferation of coinage, and a number of new developments were also made. The Kushans are known for having issued the purest gold coins of ancient India. Apart from this, for day-to-day transactions, low denomination coins were used. ये किसके बने होंगे? कॉपर के बने होंगे. So this statement is also correct. It is not the answer. C. The Satavahanas issued coins of silver, copper, lead, and protein. This is also correct. The Satavahanas were the first Indian dynasty to issue coins made of lead. Okay? And fourth, absence of Nigam coins suggests the declining power and authority of merchant guilds. Is this correct? बाकी तीन सही हैं तो ये तो गलत ही होगा, right? So this is the correct answer. What were Nigam coins? Nigam was another name for Shreni or Gana. In the context of ancient India, this term has been used to describe merchant or occupational guilds. What were these guilds and what did they do? These were simply the organizations of members associated with different economic activities. For example, there could be a guild of silk merchants, a guild of oil merchants, a guild of pottery makers, a guild of carpenters, a guild of long distance caravan traders, etc. Right? क्यों ऐसे ऑर्गेनाइज करते थे अपने आप को? Not only as a pressure group, not only because they wanted single tax. Firstly, they wanted better standardization. Okay? So in the pursuit of standardization, they formed guilds. Secondly, they also wanted to regulate the quality of goods being produced and traded. Thirdly, they also wanted to regulate prices. Okay? Fourthly, they also wanted to maintain the standards of their occupation. That means certain basic requirements had to be fulfilled by all the participant members. तभी उनको इन गिल्ड्स में पार्टिसिपेट करने का मौका मिलेगा, and only then will they be allowed to continue their trade. So these could be seen as autonomous regulatory and licensing organizations. Did they have any direct linkage with the state? Did the state play a role in their formation? No. तो इनका डायरेक्ट कोई लिंकेज नहीं होता था. But the state cooperated with these guilds. It promoted these guilds. And these guilds were even given the power to issue their own coins. They had disciplinary powers over their members. तो अगर किसी मेंबर ने इस गिल्ड के रेगुलेशंस को वायलेट किया है, they could even be expelled from that guild, effectively ending their association with the profession that is associated with this guild. ठीक है? So ऐसा इसका उल्टा हुआ. During the post-Mauryan period between 300 BC to 200 BC to 300 CE, the number of coins issued by these nigams or shrenis or ganas that actually multiplied. ठीक है? तो इसका उल्टा हुआ है. Thus indicating that this was a period when guild formation was at its peak. Number 57. Arrange the following Magadhan dynasties in the chronological order. Nanda, Shunga, Maurya, Haryankas. Oldest dynasty known to have ruled over Magad. Haryanka dynasty. Founder Bimbisar, followed by Ajatashatru and Udayan. The Haryanka dynasty followed by Shishunag dynasty. Rulers Shishunag and Kalashok, followed by Nanda dynasty. Important rulers Mahapadmananda and Dhanananda. नंदास के बाद मौर्यास. फाउंडर चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य, फॉलोड बाय बिंदुसार एंड अशोक. अशोक के बाद दशरथ एंड अशोक का एम्पायर दो में स्प्लिट हो गया था. ईस्टर्न पोर्शन केम अंडर दशरथ, वेस्टर्न पोर्शन अंडर no, I am also forgetting the name. देखो, he had two grandsons, संप्रति. हाँ, दशरथ एंड संप्रति. संप्रति को मिला वेस्टर्न पोर्शन एंड दशरथ को मिला ईस्टर्न पोर्शन. लास्ट मौर्यन एम्परर बृहद्रथ, पब्लिकली असैसिनेटेड बाय द फाउंडर ऑफ द शुंगा डायनेस्टी. नाम क्या था? शुंगा डायनेस्टी, पुष्यमित्र शुंगा. एंड लास्ट डायनेस्टी दी कन्वा डायनेस्टी. करेक्ट ऑर्डर क्या है? हरियंकास, नंदास, मौर्यास, शुंगास. 4 1 3 2. बी. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Which one of the following rulers of Magad was the contemporary of Alexander the Great? Dhanananda. So at the time of Alexander's invasion of India, Dhanananda was ruling at Magad. Was Chandragupta Maurya also a contemporary of Alexander? Yes, they shared the same timeline. They were both alive at the same time, but Chandragupta Maurya had not yet ascended as the ruler of Magad. Next question, number 59. Assertion and reason. Assertion. After campaigning for nearly 2 years, Alexander the Great left India in 325 BC. This is correct. Reason. He was defeated by Chandragupta Maurya. This is incorrect. Right? So correct answer क्या है? C. A is true but R is false. Why did Alexander retreat? Because his forces had become mutinous, right? They were first of all extremely tired, they were homesick, they were also afraid about facing the powerful army of the Nandas. So it was unfeasible for Alexander to continue. That is why he returned. Next, number 60. The foremost Indo-Roman trading station in southern India was राजगीर, अरिकामेदु, भागट्राव, कामलोक. दूसरा मतलब ठीक से पढ़ो. फोरमोस्ट इंडो रोमन ट्रेडिंग स्टेशन इन सदर्न इंडिया. राजगीर हो सकता है? नहीं. क्यों? एक तो इनलैंड है, दूसरा बिहार में है, विच इज इन ईस्टर्न इंडिया, राइट? तो ये नहीं होगा. अरिकामेडु इज द ओल्ड नेम फॉर Puducherry. It has been mentioned as the most important Indo-Roman trading center in which foreign work periplus of the Erythraean Sea. ठीक है. So this is the correct answer. This work, whose author is unknown to us gives us details about important trading centers and ports which were relevant for the trade during the early Christian centuries. तो फर्स्ट सेंचुरी एडी का ये वर्क है एंड इंडियन ओशन के लिए ये रेलिवेंट है. It contains a list and description of all the important ports in the Indian Ocean region. तो पर्शियन गल्फ में भी, इंडियन पेनिनसुला में भी, स्टेट्स ऑफ मालिका वहाँ तक लेके जाता है, राइट. It also mentions Bhakrav as an important port. But Bhakrav कहाँ पे? Bharuch. Right? This is in Gujarat. It also mentions Tamluk. Tamluk कहाँ पर? West Bengal. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दीज और कौन से पोर्ट्स मेंशन करता है ये इंडिया में? सोपारा एंड मुजिरिस और मुचिरी. सोपारा कहाँ पर? महाराष्ट्र एंड मुजिरी केरला में. करेक्ट आंसर यहाँ पे है अरिकामेडू. Next question number 61. Names of officials, titles of officials and offices held. ये मौर्यन पीरियड के लिए रेलिवेंट है. समहर्ता, सन्निधता, समस्त अध्यक्ष, अकार अध्यक्ष. समहर्ता was chief revenue collector. सन्निधता chief treasurer. समस्त अध्यक्ष मार्केट सुपरिंटेंडेंट. अकार अध्यक्ष सुपरिंटेंडेंट ऑफ माइंस. करेक्ट कॉम्बिनेशन क्या है? 2 3 4 1 B. Now in the Arthashastra, written by Kautilya, he says that the king should be the center of the entire power structure, but he must delegate various responsibilities among the top ranking officials or ministers. तो मिनिस्टर्स को क्या बोलते थे? तीर्थास. The Arthashastra contains a list of 18 तीर्थास, including officials such as मंत्रिन और प्राइम मिनिस्टर, पुरोहित, the chief priest, the सेनापति, the कंटक शोधन, that is the chief justice in criminal affairs, the Dharmastyayi, chief justice in civil matters, the Samharta, chief revenue collector, सन्निधता, etc. ठीक है. Apart from them, he also mentions as many as 27 heads of department known as adhyakshas, including officials such as Samasthadyaksh, that is market superintendent, Akar Adhyaksh, superintendent of mines, Lavan Adhyaksh, he was superintendent of salt mining, manufacture as well as सेल, सीता अध्यक्ष, he was the supervisor of crown lands or income from crown lands. Ottawa अध्यक्ष, he was the superintendent of weights and measures. Nav अध्यक्ष, he was the superintendent of all boats and rivers, right? So these are the names of some of these tirthas and adhyakshas central government mein. Next question, number 62. हाँ, जो ऑयल सीड्स वाले ऑयल होते हैं ना, हाँ, दे वर देयर, तो प्रेस करके ऑयल निकाला जाता था, तो दे यूज्ड टू बी ट्रेडेड. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, in which one of the following edicts is the name Ashoka inscribed? Shahbazgadi Major Rock Edict, Minor Rock Edict 1 at Maski, Dholi Major Rock Edict, or Kandahar Pillar Edict? Maski, Minor Rock Edict at Maski. Now, Ashoka was a prolific epigraphist. He left behind a number of inscriptions. अलग अलग categories के inscriptions हैं, such as the Major Rock Edicts, Minor Rock Edicts, Pillar Edicts, Cave Edicts, etc. However, in none of his edicts has he used his name Ashoka except for 4 occasions. ठीक है, and all of these are Minor Rock Edicts. तो एक तो है मास्की पर, और बताइए कहाँ कहाँ पे मिले हैं अशोका के नाम वाले इडिक्ट्स? नेटूर, ओडेगुलम एंड गुर्जरा. These are the only 4 locations where inscriptions belonging to Ashok have been found bearing his proper name. Everywhere else he has been referred to by his title. क्या टाइटल था? देवनाम पिया पियादसी, राइट? तो ये 4 लोकेशंस हैं जहां पे इसके नाम वाली एडिक्ट्स मिले हैं. नेक्स्ट, नंबर 63. Rajukas were traders in the Chola kingdom, officers in the Mauryan administration, feudal lords in the Gupta empire, or soldiers in the Shaka army? Officers in the Mauryan administration. किस लेवल के ऑफिशियल्स थे ये? They were sub-divisional officials who were in charge of revenue collection and rural justice. They were assisted by an assistant known as yuktas. Now, the provincial administration of the Mauryas was also highly centralized and it was supposed to mirror central administration. So, central administration पे जिस तरह से the king was assisted by several adhyakshas and tirthas, at the provincial level also there were a number of senior officials assisting the provincial governors or rajapals known as amatyas or mahamatyas, right? The provinces were known as, क्या बोलते थे इनको? Pradesh. They were subdivided into विषय, स्थानीय और स्थान, द्रोणमुखास, खरवंतिकास, संग्रहंस, and finally the village or gram. At the village level, self-governance existed. Villages were governed by their traditional village headmen known as gopas, right? Each pradesh was headed by Rajyapal. Sorry, pradesh was like the district. प्रदेश के ऊपर होता था राज्य, which was the province. In the entire Mauryan Empire, there were 5 such provinces, right? They were headed by Rajyapals. And regarding the officials heading the other levels of the organization, हमारे पास clarity नहीं है. There are a number of officials which could have coexisted at each of these levels. जैसे कि Pradeshika, he functioned like the district collector, followed by the Rajuka, assisted by Yuktas, but several contemporary sources also mention officials such as Sthanikas. What their exact purpose was, that is unclear. ठीक है? In any case, इस क्वेश्चन का करेक्ट आंसर है बी. Number 64. Ashokan inscriptions in northwestern part of the Mauryan Empire near Peshawar were in Brahmi script, Aramaic script, Devanagari script or Kharoshti script. Kharoshti script. Kharoshti script written in which direction? Right to left or left to right? And in northwestern India, this was the preferred script due to the contact of this region with which people? Not the Greeks, rather the Persians. So this is a legacy of the Persian contact of this region between the 6th to the 5th century BCE. Persia at this point of time was being ruled by which dynasty? The Achaemenid dynasty. And under its second and probably most powerful ruler, Darius the First, northwestern portion of India was annexed by the Persians. It became the Persian Empire's 20th province, which was also known as satrapy, right, in the later Greek sources. So the region of Punjab and Sindh was the 20th satrapy of the Achaemenid Empire under Darius the First. It was the largest, richest, and most populous of all the provinces in the Persian Empire. It alone yielded more revenue than three-fourths of all the other Persian provinces combined. Okay? Indians also played a very important role in the military tradition of Persia. A large number of war elephants as well as local warriors were inducted into the Persian imperial army. ठीक है, तो करेक्ट आंसर है डी. नेक्स्ट, नंबर 65. Which among the following text dramatizes the ascent of Chandragupta Maurya by overcoming Dhanananda with the help of his mentor Chanakya? रत्नावली, मुद्रा राक्षसा, देवी चंद्रगुप्तम और विक्रमदेव चरिता. मुद्रा राक्षसा. It is a Sanskrit drama written by Vishakha Datta. Vishakha Datta was also the author of Devi Chandraguptam, but this is about the rise of Chandragupta II Vikramaditya and his civil war against his elder brother Ramgupta. Ratnavali क्या है? It is a Sanskrit text composed by Harshvardhan, and Vikramandev Charita is a Sanskrit text composed by Bilhan. It is a eulogy written in praise of a Chalukyan ruler. कौन? Vikramaditya the sixth. Was a Chalukyan ruler. Bilhana was a Kashmiri Jain poet. ठीक है, आगे बढ़े. Next, consider the following pairs: site of Ashoka's major rock edicts and location of the state. टोटल अशोका के कितने मेजर रॉक edicts? 14 major rock edicts. Found at how many locations? 8 locations. Can you name all of them? शहबाजगढ़ी and Mansehra. These are located near Peshawar in present day Pakistan. Kalsi near Dehradun in modern day Uttarakhand. Girnar, Gujarat. Sopara and Eragudi. Sopara in Maharashtra, Eragudi in Andhra Pradesh, and Dholi and Jogad. Where are they located? ओडिशा, कलिंगा वाले रीजन में, राइट. तो अब बताओ, धौली ओडिशा, एरागुडी आंध्र प्रदेश, जौगढ़ ओडिशा. दिस इज इनकरेक्टली मैच्ड. कलसी उत्तराखंड. दिस इज ऑल्सो इनकरेक्टली मैच्ड. हाउ मेनी पेयर्स आर करेक्टली मैच्ड? 2 पेयर्स ओनली. ठीक है. The language used in all of these major rock edicts कौन सा है? प्राकृत. But there is a variation in script. In the major rock edicts found in India proper, the script is Brahmi. But in the edicts found near Peshawar, Kharoshti. Kharoshti script use हो रहा है. ठीक है? So will it be correct to say that the Ashokan Empire was a multi-ethnic and multilingual empire? Yes. So a number of regions were covered where people from various races used to live, and several scripts and languages were also in use. Next question. In which inscription is Ashoka's victory over Kalinga mentioned? Kalinga inscription, Hathi Gumfa inscription, Junagadh inscription, or none of the above? हाथी गुम्फा इंस्क्रिप्शन में कलिंगा की विक्ट्री के अशोका की विक्ट्री के बारे में बात करी गई है. It has not talked about Ashoka's victories. It has talked about the victories of Mahapadmananda over Kalinga. Right? It informs us that Mahapadmananda invaded the region of Kalinga and took away some very sacred Jaina idols back to his capital. The Hathi Gumfa inscription is attributed to which king of Kalinga? किस किंग ने इसको इंस्क्राइब करवाया? खारवेल. He is regarded as one of the most powerful rulers to ever have ruled over Kalinga. And इसने क्या claim किया है? That I have avenged that defeat by attacking Magad and bringing those Jaina idols back. ठीक है? So it is not the Hathi Gumfa inscription. अब बताओ. Kalinga inscription. Now Kalinga inscription are some special inscriptions that are found in the major rock edicts at Dholi and Jogad. Now कितने major rock edicts हैं? 14. The 13th major rock edict talks about Ashoka's victory over Kalinga after an extremely bloody war. ठीक है? इसका करेक्ट आंसर तो है नन ऑफ दी अबव. बट बिकॉज ये दोनों जो इंस्क्रिप्शंस हैं दे आर लोकेटेड इन कलिंगा, Ashoka did not want the people of Kalinga to be reminded of this painful history, of this painful past. Therefore, the 13th major rock edict is not present at these two locations. यहाँ पे वो edict नहीं है. In its place, two additional edicts have been inscribed, right? And they are collectively known as the Kalinga edicts. What is the content of these Kalinga edicts? क्या content है इसका? It talks about the rehabilitative program introduced by Ashoka for the people of Kalinga to allow them to recover from the losses suffered during the war of conquest. ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे ये edicts में इसके बारे में मेंशन नहीं किया गया है. क्लियर? जूनागढ़ इंस्क्रिप्शन बिलोंग्स टू द शाका रूलर रुद्रदमन. Who was he? the most prominent Shaka ruler, right? And here he has given you a list of his own accomplishments, his important deeds and victories over other contemporary rulers. Okay? So correct answer है इसका D, none of the above. Number 68. Yeah. हाँ, अशोका के बारे में भी बात करता है, चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य के भी बारे में बात करता है. बट दिस इंस्क्रिप्शन was first inscribed by Rudradaman, where in while mentioning his good deeds, he tells us that he repaired the dam that existed on the Sudarshan Lake. About this dam, he has given us some extra information, that it was first constructed during the reign of Chandragupta Maurya, the ancient Maurya ruler, by his provincial governor Vishnugupta. After a few years, that dam got destroyed, and when Ashoka was emperor, it was repaired once again. Over the centuries, that dam got destroyed once again and was rebuilt by Rudradaman. Okay? So this has been, you can say, highlighted as one of the charitable works of Rudradaman. इसमें एक चीज इसने स्पेशल और मेंशन करी है, दैट फॉर द रिपेयर वर्क जितना भी लेबर लगा था इसमें, none of it was forced labor. So forced labor was deliberately avoided. Yes. अच्छा, ओके, ठीक है, आगे बढ़े. Next question. The division of Mauryan society into 7 classes is particularly mentioned in Kautilya's Arthashastra, Ashokan edicts, the Purans, or the Indica of Megasthenes. The Indica of Megasthenes. Now, what was the basis for the organization of the Indian society, division of Indian society? Varna system. How many Varnas? 4 Varnas. This is reflected not only in the present society but also in the ancient literature, right? However, Megasthenes was an outsider. India ही क्यों आया था? To act as the royal emissary of an Indo-Greek ruler. कौन? Seleucus Nicator, in the court of Chandragupta Maurya at the capital Patliputra. ठीक है? And he has left behind his observations in a work known as the Indica. Now, he could very clearly see that there was some kind of division in the society, but he could not understand the nature of that division. But because the Western society was divided on the basis of socio-economic classes, he felt कि यहाँ पे भी वैसा ही differentiation होगा. And he said that the Indian society was divided into 7 classes. कौन कौन सी classes? Philosophers, farmers, herdsmen, artisans, soldiers, inspectors, and counselors. ठीक है? So this, according to him, was the 7-fold class-based division of the Indian society. Question number 69. Which among the following statements about Hari Sen is or are correct? Number 1. Hari Sen was the famous poet of Samudragupta's court. This is correct. So this was the court poet of Samudragupta. Second, he was the author of Devi Chandraguptam. Incorrect. Devi Chandraguptam belongs to the time period of Chandragupta II Vikramaditya, the younger son of Samudragupta. It was authored by Vishakha Dutt. Third, he also composed the Prayag Prashasti. This is correct. What is the Prayag Prashasti? It is a Sanskrit inscription which has been composed by Hari Sen to praise the achievements, accomplishments and victories of his patron Samudragupta, right? In the Prayag Prashasti, Samudragupta has been projected as a great conqueror and military leader, overcoming as many as how many kings? 39 kings in different parts of India. Okay? So which of these is correct? 1 and 3 only, that is B. Next question, number 70. Bhag and Bali were sources of revenue. What was the nature of Bhag? What kind of income, what kind of tax was it? It was land revenue. The literal meaning of the word Bhag is division. So this was a share of the total produce of the land to be given to the state as revenue. Okay? Bali comes from the root word Bal, meaning power. Who was the most powerful entity in the entire state? The king. And what was his foremost duty? To protect his subjects, right? In return, he would expect some taxes. And this was that tax. So it was a tax that was collected on the basis of power or force or for the purpose of defense. Next question. The following persons came to India at one time or another. Faheen, Singh, Megasthenes and Huensang. करेक्ट क्रोनोलॉजिकल ऑर्डर क्या है इनका? सबसे पहले मेगास्थनीज, देन फाहीन ड्यूरिंग द रेन ऑफ विच किंग? चंद्रगुप्त द सेकंड विक्रमादित्य, गुप्ता डायनेस्टी वाला. मेगास्थनीज चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य, मौर्यन डायनेस्टी वाला. देन हुएनसांग ड्यूरिंग द टाइम पीरियड ऑफ हर्षवर्धन. कब आया इंडिया? 629 CE, left 645. Singh is also a 7th century Chinese traveler. He arrived in India a few years later, 673 में. ठीक है, तो करेक्ट कॉम्बिनेशन क्या हुआ? 3142. 3142, that is B है. Next question, number 72. Consider the following statements regarding Indo-Greek rulers. Number 1. The Kushan rulers worshipped both Shiva and Buddha. इसको ये statement थोड़ा ठीक कर लो. This is not about Indo-Greek rulers, rather it is about post-Mauryan rulers or foreign ruling groups. Right. Number 1. Kushan rulers worshipped both Shiva and the Buddha. This is correct. So Kushans were followers of both Mahayana Buddhism as well as Shaivism. Why? Because these were the two most prominent faiths in northern India, which they had recently annexed, which they had recently conquered. So to ingratiate themselves with the people, to have a better association with them, better cultural linkage, they started to promote both of them. Second, Rudradaman was the most famous Parthian ruler. Incorrect. Rudradaman belonged to the Shaka dynasty. Most famous Parthian ruler? Gondophares. Third, Menander was an Indo-Greek king who was converted to Jainism by Nagasena. Incorrect. He was converted to Buddhism by Nagasena. Which of these are incorrect? 2 and 3 only. C. हाँ जी. नहीं, नागार्जुन अलग है, नागसेना अलग है. Both of these were Buddhist monks, but Nagarjuna is not the same as Nagsena. Nagarjuna had converted this person, Menander, to Buddhism. Nagsena was an 8th century Buddhist monk. Right? So दोनों अलग अलग हैं, not the same. ये नहीं, ये सही है, नागसेना ने कन्वर्ट किया है। नागसेना वाज द ऑथर ऑफ मिलिंद पन्हु, तो ये सही। मैंने शायद गलत बोल दिया अभी आपको एक्सप्लेन करते हुए। नागार्जुन वाज अ लेटर बुद्धिस्ट मंक। इन एनी केस करेक्ट आंसर इसका 2 and 3 होगा। नेक्स्ट, आई विल हैव टू चेक, अभी मुझे एग्जैक्टली याद नहीं। सेम पर्सन नहीं है, दोनों अलग अलग हैं। हाँ हाँ हाँ, नागार्जुन यूज करते हैं। एक बार थोड़ा और मुझे देखने दीजिए, देन आई विल गेट बैक। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, द प्रैक्टिस ऑफ मिलिट्री गवर्नरशिप वाज फर्स्ट इंट्रोड्यूस्ड इन इंडिया बाय Greeks, Shakas, Parthians or Mughals? Greeks. So Greeks had brought this practice. Alexander had conquered a large portion of the known world, too large to govern personally. Therefore, he had established military governorships under his governors known as, sorry, under his generals known as strategos. Alexander मर गया and these strategos became kings in their own rights. So Alexander's empire was divided up like a cake between these strategos. One part or one portion of strategos established their rule over parts of India and became Indianized. So they started to refer to themselves as Kshatrapas. This was a common title held by both the Indo-Greek rulers as well as the Shaka rulers. Next question, number 74. With reference to the guilds or shreni of ancient India that played a very important role in the country's economy, which of the following statements is or are correct? 1. Every guild was registered with the central authority of the state and the king was the chief administrative authority on them. Correct or incorrect? Incorrect. So they had no direct association with the state and the king did not play any important role in its organization or administration. Second, the wages, rule of work, standards and prices were fixed by the guilds. This is correct. Third, the guild had judicial power over its own members. This is also correct. They had the power even to expel members. तो कौन से करेक्ट हैं इसमें? C, 2 and 3 only. A general crime, हाँ. Yes. पहले स्टेट पनिश करेगा, देन गिल्ड उसको इनकम सॉरी एक्सकम्युनिकेट कर देगा, राइट, एक्सपेल कर देगा। जैसे अभी होता है, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ़ यू आर अ सिविल सर्वेंट एंड अगर आपके ऊपर कोई क्रिमिनल केस लगा हुआ है तो फर्स्ट यू आर गोइंग टू बी सस्पेंडेड बट यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू बी रिमूव्ड फ्रॉम योर जॉब, बट इफ दोज चार्जेस आर प्रूवन ट्रू तो आपके ऊपर एक डिसिप्लिनरी कमिटी बैठाई जाएगी एंड इट विल बी डिसीजन विल बी टेकन वेदर यू शुड बी अलाउड टू कंटिन्यू और वेदर यू शुड बी डिसमिस्ड। तो क्या पेनल्टी आपके ऊपर लगेगी, तो सेम प्रोसीजर यहाँ पे भी फॉलो। नेक्स्ट, नंबर 75, कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स। नंबर 1, Megasthenes was a Greek historian who was sent to the court of Chandragupta Maurya. Correct, incorrect? Incorrect. He was not a historian, he was a diplomat. He had been sent as ambassador. Second, the Greek ambassador Heliodorus was sent to the court of Bhagbhadra by the Indo-Greek king Antiochus. This is correct. So Antiochus, the ruler of Bactria, had sent Heliodorus as the ambassador to the court of Bhagbhadra. Who was Bhagbhadra? He was a ruler of the Shunga dynasty, sorry, Kanva dynasty, fifth ruler of the Kanva dynasty. And Heliodorus is most well known for having erected the base Nagar pillar with the base Nagar Sanskrit inscription. Dedicated to which god? Vasudev, which is an incarnation of Vishnu. Vasudev has been called Dev in this inscription, that is the god of gods. And Heliodorus has confirmed his devotion to Vasudev by calling himself Bhagavata, right? That is a devotee of Vishnu. Clear? कहाँ पे है ये? MP में, Vidisha. Right? Next question, number 76. The term Yavanika mentioned in the ancient Sanskrit texts denote curtains. Right? Why are they called Yavanika? Because they were introduced into the theatre tradition by the Indo-Greeks. The Greeks had brought it to India. The Greeks were also known as Yavanas. Yavan is a term which has been used throughout history to denote foreigners and outsiders. Now, initially it was not a derogatory term, but as the Indian society became more and more inward looking, more and more insular, it became a derisive term. Okay? Along with terms such as Malechas or Surukshas, right? तो अर्लियर इसमें कोई नेगेटिव वैल्यू नहीं एसोसिएटेड था, लेटर इसको नेगेटिव टर्म की तरह देखा जाने लगा. Why were the Greeks called Yavanas? Because they referred to themselves as Ionians. In the Greek pantheon of gods, Io is a Greek goddess. So worshippers of this Greek goddess called themselves Ionians. India है तो Ion भूला नहीं गया. They called them Yavan, right? And these Yavans brought the curtains in the theatre, and this was called Yavanika. Next, yes, पेपर. पेपर को बोलते थे यवन प्रिया. यवन प्रिया, why? Because it was the favorite of the Yavanas. क्यों फेवरेट था यवनास का? Yeah, they used it to preserve meat, to smoke and spice meat. So that is why they were exporting it from India in such large quantities. Next question, number 77. Which of the following pair is or are correctly matched? 1. Charak Samhita. Is it a treatise on surgery? No, it is a treatise on medicine. Authored by Charak. Who was Charak? One of the great early Indian scholars in the field of medicine during the period of Kanishka. So he was the court physician of Kanishka. Second, Sushruta Samhita, treatise on medicine? No, the treatise on surgery. Third, Saripruta Prakarna, treatise on statecraft? No. क्या है ये? It is the earliest known Sanskrit drama. Last class में भी बताया था ना. Author अश्वघोष. कौन से करेक्टली मैच्ड है? नन. आंसर इज डी. Number 78. Consider the following statements regarding Sangam literature. 1. The work of two Sangams has partially or fully lost, but only the third Sangam survives today. Is this correct? So, according to Tamil legend, an assembly of poets was called by the Pandyan kings over a period of 9,997 years in 3 phases. So there were 3 Sangams, in which 6,598 Tamil poets participated. The first Sangam was held at Madurai, the capital of the Pandyas. The second at Kapadpuram, and the third once again at Madurai. According to the Tamil legend, all works that were compiled in the first Sangam have been lost to us. कुछ नहीं बचा है इसका, right? Only one work survives from the second Sangam, that is the Tolkappiyam. And the remaining works of the early Tamil literature all come from the third Sangam at Madurai. So, pehla statement, correct or incorrect? Correct. It has been partially or fully lost. Only the third Sangam survives today. Second, the lost work of Tolkappiyam belongs to the first Sangam at Madurai. This is incorrect. This belongs to the second Sangam at Kapatpuram. So, which of these are correct? A, one only. Number 79. Consider the following statements in the context of Sangam literature. 1. Agam emphasizes the abstract of human aspects like love and sexual relationships. Second, Agam poetry is usually set in cities. And 3. Puram discusses human experiences like social life, ethics, valor and customs. Which are correct? 1 and 3 only. Now, Tamil poetry of the Sangam period can be divided into 2 genres. Agam, also known as Akam or Aham, and second genre, Puram. Akam poetry explores the inner thoughts and softer feelings and human experiences. Feelings such as love, loneliness, sexual desire and relationships etc. These are explored. Usually landscape क्या होता है इनका? Forests, the countryside. And Puram poetry, themes such as war, valor, ethics, morality, conceptions of right and wrong, these are dealt with. And as the name suggests, इनका landscape क्या होगा? Cities, the urban environment. So second statement is incorrect, बाकी दोनों सही हैं. Correct answer is C, 1 and 3 only. Question number 80. Consider the following statements about Sangam literature. 1. Sangam literature is secular in nature. Yes or no? This is correct. So, no overtly religious theme is present. Matter of religion is definitely discussed, but the purpose of writing is not religious pursuit. Second, Sangam literature throws light on the political system of South India only. Correct or incorrect? Incorrect. Why? Apart from political life, it also talks about other aspects such as society, economy, the status of various religions, the life of the common people, life at the royal court etc. ये सभी इसमें डील होता है. Third, poems of Sangam literature were composed by men only due to prevalence of patriarchal society. This is incorrect. So a large number of Tamil poems have been composed by women as well. And the picture of the society that is painted in the Sangam literature is not an extremely patriarchal one. Yes, there was male dominance in the society, but it was not overwhelmingly so. Okay? Women enjoyed a number of freedoms and privileges. So which of these are correct? B, one only. Sangam literature talks about South India only. It is based in the region of Tamilham or Tamilkam, that is the Tamil country. It talks about three political formations, three kingdoms, Cheras, Cholas and Pandyas, and the life within those kingdoms. तो इसमें वॉरफेयर का सब्जेक्ट भी डिस्कस होगा, पॉलिटिकल रिलेशंस भी डिस्कस होंगे, मोनास्टिक सेक्ट्स भी डिस्कस होंगे. हाँ, नहीं नहीं, it talks about the political system of South India only. नहीं नहीं, तो ठीक है, it talks about political system of South India only, but apart from the political system, some other themes are also covered. So that is the idea. तो इंटरप्रिटेशन में आपकी दिक्कत हो रही है या फिर देयर इज अ मिसमैच, आप उसको अलग तरह से देख रहे हो. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन नंबर 81. लिस्ट 1 एंड लिस्ट 2 मैच करना है इसको. अरासार, मेलकांकु, थिरुक्कुरल, सिलापतिक्रम. Now, in the Tolkappiyam, who was the author? Tolkappiyar. He has talked about the social division of the Tamil society on the basis of occupations. ठीक है, तो चार कास्ट इसने आइडेंटिफाई करी हैं. What were these four castes? Ananthar, Arasar, Velalars, and Vanigars. Ananthar was the priestly class. Velalar was the cultivator class. Vanigar were the trading class. And Arasar was the रूलिंग क्लास. ठीक है, तो ए तो हो गया 2. Now, Tamil poetry has been compiled into several compilations. One of the most famous one is a collection of 18 anthologies of major works known as the Pathine Melkanku. Right? So it is an anthology of 18 major works of Sangam literature. Thirukkural, written by Thiruvalluvar, is one of the most important works of the Pathine Melkanku. Its author, Thiruvalluvar, was a great philosopher, and the Thirukkural is also known as the Tamil Bible. The themes that are dealt with include ethics and morality, conceptions of good and evil. So it is a Tamil text dealing with philosophy and wise maxims. And Silapatikram, written by Achera Prince Con Ilango Adigal. It is the love story between Kovalan, a merchant from Puhar, and a courtesan, Madhvi of Kaveri Patnam. राइट, लेकिन ये पति पत्नी और वो वाली कहानी है. तो कोवलन इज द हस्बैंड, माधवी इज द गर्लफ्रेंड, एंड बीवी कौन है हु इज नेग्लेक्टेड? कन्नगी. These are the three protagonists. And who emerges as the real heroine? Kannagi, right? So with this, you can also see that although the Tamil society to begin with was quite egalitarian when it came to gender relations, but it was becoming more and more male dominated. Why? Because Kannagi has been shown over here as the dutiful wife, who never strays from her love for her husband, even though her husband is errant on multiple occasions. ठीक है, तो माधवी के चक्कर में बंदा मर गया, बदला लेने आएगी बीवी कन्नगी. So from here the Kannagi cult also starts, and Kannagi gained reverence as the deity, as the goddess of purity, womanly virtue in the Tamil society. तो अरेंज करो, अब बताओ क्या सही है इसमें. A2, B3, C4, D1. 2, 3, 4, 1. A. Correct answer is A. Next question. Which of the following rulers were identified through matronymics? The Satvahanas. Names of rulers क्या क्या थे? गौतमी पुत्र, वैशिष्ठी पुत्र, right, etc. So this means that the kings were taking the names of their mothers. Next question, number 83. Which one of the following was an important Pandya port celebrated for its pearls in Sangam poems and Greek accounts? The answer is Korkai. Muchiri or Muziris was an important port of the Cheras. चेरास का कैपिटल क्या था? Vanji, but their most important port was Muziris. Puhar was the most important port of the Cholas. Arikamedu was an Indo-Roman settlement. In which UT? Puducherry, Pondicherry. Korkai, along with Kaveri Patnam, were the important ports of the Pandyas. Their capital was at Madurai. Okay. Korkai is famous in Sangam literature for its high quality pearls. Next question, number 84. Consider the following statements. The Sangams flourished under the royal patronage of the Cholas. False. It flourished under the royal patronage of Pandyas. 2. No literary work of the first Sangam is available. This is correct. 3. Ettu Togai is part of Sangam literature. This is correct. Now, you remember Mel Kanakku, the Athene Mel Kanakku is a collection of 18 anthologies. It can be further subdivided into two portions. Adityapattu, a collection of 10 anthologies, and Ettu Togai, a collection of 8 anthologies. Okay? So this statement is correct. Which of these are correct? B, 2 and 3 only. Okay. Number 85. Match the following pairs. List 1 is names of different categories of land and different categories of communities living in various lands, and list 2 is types of these lands. Kurunji, Mullai, Marudam, Palai. Now this list has been given in the Tolkappiyam. Tolkappiyam informs us that initially the Tamil society was not vertically divided, rather it was horizontally divided on the basis of region, right? कितने regions mention किए हैं इन्होंने? 5 regions. These are Kurunji, Mullai, Marudam, Nedal and Palai. The Kurunji people were those who resided in the hilly tracts. Mullai in the grasslands. They practiced pastoralism. Marudam people were from the plains. They practiced agriculture. Neadal were the coastal communities. Their chief occupation was fishing. And Palai were the desert people. Their chief occupation was robbing all the other people. इनके पास अपना कुछ था नहीं, right? तो करेक्ट कॉम्बिनेशन क्या है इसका? कुरुंजी, मुल्लई, मरुदम, desert. It is 3, 1, C. कुरुंजी का हिल ट्रैक्ट्स, तो 1 का होना चाहिए C. अच्छा, 2 का D होगा. 2 का D होगा. तो there is only one option, ये वाला, right? Answer is C. Next question, number 86. Which one of the following statements about the famous text of Panchatantra is correct? A. It is a philosophical text reflecting the debates of the time and refuting rival positions. B. It is a text ushering in linguistics as a formal science. C. It is a text discussing developments in various spheres of natural sciences. Or D. It is a text showing through illustration what should and should not be done. D. So the Panchatantra is a collection of short stories written by Vishnu Sharma. During which period? Gupta period. In which language? Sanskrit. And this has become extremely popular. क्यों? Because of the themes that are covered. These are universal themes जो कि हर culture के साथ resonate होते हैं. And thus the Panchatantra has been translated into more than 160 modern languages. It is one of the most widely publicized works in the entire world. It contains short stories which are related through animal fables. तो कभी बंदरों की, कभी crocodiles का, कभी चिड़ियों का कहानी सुना करके कुछ वैल्यू एडिशन करा जाता है. So these are quite popular across the world, right? So correct answer is D. Next question, number 87. With reference to forced labor Vishti in India during the Gupta period, which one of the following statements is correct? A. It was considered a source of income for the state, a sort of tax paid by the people. B. It was totally absent in the Madhya Pradesh and Kathiawar regions of the Gupta Empire. C. The forced laborer was entitled to weekly wages. And D. The eldest son of the laborer was sent as the forced labor. Answer is A over here, that it was considered as a source of income for the state and a sort of tax paid by the people. So usually those people who did not have agricultural land or were not in the position to pay land revenue, they had to perform forced labor for the state. Forced labor could be extracted not only by the state but also by the donees of land grants. So whether it was military generals or Brahmin priests, whoever had received land grants from the state, they had the right to extract forced labor from the people living on their land. Okay? So in lieu of land revenue, this was the forced labor. Most of the inscriptions which have described this practice come from the Madhya Pradesh and Kathiawar regions. तो यानी कि यहाँ पे सबसे ज़्यादा prevalent थे. This is incorrect. Forced labor was not entitled to any wages. It was free labor and it was not hereditary in nature. ठीक है? So ऐसा नहीं है that this was a full-fledged system of slavery. Clear? Question number 88. The University of Nalanda was set up by which Gupta ruler? Kumar Gupta the second, Kumar Gupta the first, Chandragupta the second, or Samudragupta? Kumar Gupta the first. Correct answer is Kumar Gupta the first. कहाँ पे है? Gaya, Bihar. Right. And what was it set up for? As a center of Buddhist learning. Right. Kumar Gupta the first had set aside the revenue of one village for the upkeep of this monastery. According to Huensang, who visited India during the reign of Harshvardhan, the revenue of 100 villages used to support this monastery. One of the most important alumni of the Nalanda University during the Pala period was Dharampal, and it was under the tutelage of his Buddhist priests that he himself got the encouragement to patronize Buddhism at a large scale. And he set up another important university at Vikramshila, that is in भागलपुर डिस्ट्रिक्ट. राइट. तो क्वेश्चन नंबर 90 का आंसर क्या है? धर्मपाल. कमिंग टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 89. हु वाज द फाउंडर ऑफ द पाला डायनेस्टी? गोपाला. हैड ही कम टू पावर with any war? No. After the death of Shashank, the political you can say organization of Bengal had fallen into disarray, and the locally powerful elements and families finally came together in 750 CE, and Gopal was elected as ruler. Okay? So he got the throne through consensus. Next question. The Rath temples at Mahabalipuram were built by Cholas, Pallavas, Shedis, or Chalukyas? The answer is Pallavas. Now, the beginning of Dravidian architecture starts with the Pallavas. Under the Pallavas, Dravidian architecture developed in 4 stages or 4 groups. In the initial stage, simple rock-cut mandapas were constructed. Then, rock-cut temples or rathas were constructed by Narsimha Varman the second. So, Narsimha Varman group के हैं ये the Rath temples at Mahabalipuram. Right? Correct answer is B, Pallavas. In the third stage, structural temples were constructed, and fourth stage, some smaller temples were constructed outside Mahabalipuram. Okay. Number 92. Chaitra, one of the national calendar based on Shaka era, corresponds to which one of the following dates of the Gregorian calendar in a normal year of 365 days? 22 March. ठीक है? Correct answer is A. So Chaitra is the first month of the Shaka era. When did this era begin? In the year 78 AD. Is it a solar or a lunar calendar? It is a solar calendar, but there is some lunar dating as well. So it is a combination. Being a solar calendar, it also provides for the concept of leap years. Therefore, in normal years, the Chaitra first falls on the 22nd of March. In a leap year, it falls on the 21st of March. Next question, number 93. From which inscription is it known that Skandagupta defeated the Hunas? Bitari pillar inscription, right? Answer is A. Bitari pillar inscription. कहाँ पे है ये? गाजीपुर में, right? And Skandagupta thus became the first ruler to successfully defeat the Hunas. The first Gupta ruler under which the Hunas began invading India. सबसे पहले इन्वेजन शुरू किस रूलर के अंडर हुए हुनास के? नॉट रामगुप्त, इट वाज कुमारगुप्त. ठीक है, आंसर इज कुमारगुप्त. Allahabad pillar inscription belongs to which Gupta ruler? Samudragupta. Mandsaur inscription belongs to Yashodharman, right, the ruler of Malwa. It also mentions some accomplishments of Kumargupta. Udaygiri inscription belongs to Chandragupta II Vikramaditya. Next question, number 94. There were different causes for the downfall of the Gupta Empire. Which one among the statements given below was not the cause? Huna invasion, feudal setup of administration, Arab invasion, or decline of external trade? Arab invasion. ठीक है? So first of all, the repeated Huna invasions eroded the manpower as well as economic base of the state. So this is a valid reason. The Gupta administration was superficially centralized. The king appeared to have a great degree of power, but due to the proliferation of land grants and the transfer of royal authority in the hands of subordinates, the system had become feudalistic in nature. So the Gupta rulers had presided over their own, you can say, emaciation, right? So this is also correct. Now, one of the most prominent sources for income for the Gupta state was revenue earned from external trade. But by the beginning of the 5th century, this trade had started to collapse. Why? Firstly, because of the Hunas who had become active on the western borders of India. So they had disrupted all the trade routes connecting India to the western world. Secondly, the Roman Empire, which was the largest trading partner of the Gupta Empire, that had also started to decline because of similar Huna invasions on Rome. And thirdly, because the Chinese Empire, which was another prominent trading partner, that had also started declining at the same time. Okay? So this decline also contributed to the decline of the Gupta Empire. Correct answer इसका है Arab invasion. Arab invasion कब हुआ इंडिया में? Beginning of the 8th century, 711, 712 CE. By this point of time, the Guptas were long gone. Okay? Next question, number 95. Which of the following statements are correct with respect to ancient Indian ruler Harshvardhan and his times? 1. He patronized the Heenan form of Buddhism. Correct? Incorrect. He patronized the Mahayana form of Buddhism. Did he patronize any other religion apart from this? Shaivism and sun worship. Okay? Second, Fahim visited India and wrote the account of administration during Harsha's times. No. Fahim was a contemporary of the Gupta ruler Chandragupta II, Vikramaditya. So this is incorrect. Third, his authority was limited to North India, including Kashmir. So Harsha's empire was located in North India, but Kashmir was not part of his empire. So this is also incorrect. बताओ कौन से correct हैं इसमें? None of the above. Answer is D. Next question, number 96. Consider the following statements in regards with Harsha. Number 1. Harsha convened a grand assembly at Prayag. No, this is incorrect. He convened a grand assembly at his capital. Yes. Kanya in the year 643 AD in honor of Sang, who used this to promote Mahayana Buddhism. Okay? There used to be an assembly every 5 years at Prayag known as the Mahamoksh Parishad or the Mahamoksh Council. This was a 4-day affair in which on the first day worship of Lord Ganesha was done, on the second day worship of Shiva, on the third day worship of Buddha, and the fourth day was reserved for charitable works. ठीक है, तो ये गलत है पहला वाला statement. Second, the Chinese pilgrim Sang visited India during his reign. This is correct. 629 to 645. Third, he wrote Ratnavali, Naganand and Priyadarshika. This is also correct. Which of these statements are correct? 2 and 3 only. Answer is C. Question 97. The first inscriptional evidence of the practice of sati has been found from Iran, Junagadh, Mandsaur और Sanchi. ईरान कहाँ पर है ये? MP में, in the Siddhi district. This inscription is in Sanskrit and has been dated to the year 510 CE, 510 AD. गुप्ता पीरियड में हमको सबसे पहला इंस्क्रिप्शनल एविडेंस मिल जाता है सती का. Next question, number 98. In Chalukya inscriptions, which ruler has been described as Shakalottara Pathanath? Pulkesin the first, Pulkesin the second, Harshvardhan or Vikramaditya the fourth, or the sixth? Huh? Pulkesin the second. Any other guesses? Harshvardhan. Correct answer is Harshvardhan. Right? Now, Sakalottara Pathanath, this means the lord of the whole of the Uttarapath. That is the lord of the north. Now, Harshvardhan famously fought against Pulkesin the second of the Chalukya dynasty. And did he win or was he defeated? He was defeated, right? After this, the later Chalukyan inscriptions, while remembering this achievement of Pulkesin II, say that he had defeated the extremely warlike and powerful Sakalottara Pathanath, that is Harshvardhan, whose joy, that is Harsha, had turned to fear. So, इस तरह का language use किया हुआ है. Correct answer over here is C, Harshvardhan. Next, number 99. With reference to Indian history, which of the following is or are the essential element or elements of the feudal system? 1. A very strong centralized political authority and a very weak provincial or local political authority. Incorrect. A feudal system is characterized by weak central authority and power residing in the regions. So there is a decentralization of power. Second, emergence of administrative structure based on control and possession of land. This is also correct. So land instead of monetary currency becomes the basis for organizing power. How does feudalism usually emerge? When rulers start to make land grants and start transferring sovereign power in the hands of the grantees, right? धीरे 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 greater and greater devolution and decentralization of power होता है. On the basis of their land power, the feudal lords have the ability to mobilize vast resources, maintain large armies and construct forts. ठीक? Third, creation of lord-vassal relationship between the feudal lord and his overlord. This is also correct. Now, in name, the feudal lords are supposed to remain loyal to the king and are supposed to answer whenever the king calls upon them to perform military service, provide troops, right? This is known as the lord-vassal relationship. In return for their loyalty and their service, they receive continued ownership of their lands and titles. Right? This is a patron-client relationship. कौन सा सही है ये? B. 2 and 3 only. Last question, number 100. Which one of the following pairs is not correctly matched? Ravi Kirti Pulkesin II, Bhavbhuti Yashovarman of Kannauj, Harisen Harsha, or Dandin Narsimha Varman? Harisen Harsha. Right? Harisen was the court poet of Samudragupta. Who was the court poet of Harsha? Banabhatta. Ravi Kirti was the court poet of Pulkesin II. His most famous composition, the Ayhole inscription. Bhavbhuti was the court poet of Yashovarman. His most famous composition is the Uttara Ramcharita. And Dandin was a Sanskrit composer in the court of the Pallava ruler Narsimha Varman. He has composed a number of important Sanskrit works. Correct answer यहाँ पे है C. Harisen Harsha. Right. Any doubts? Yes. In Nalanda monastery, over the period, the study of Buddhism continued to evolve. For example, various branches were taught. तो आपको महायान बुद्धिज्म का पेट्रनेज भी मिलेगा, योग शास्त्र का पेट्रनेज भी मिलेगा, तंत्रयान बुद्धिज्म का पेट्रनेज भी मिलेगा. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि इट इज नोन ओनली फॉर वन. Vaj, in which one? महायान और वज्रयान. तो बुद्ध नालंदा मोनेस्ट्री में कौन सा सबसे ज़्यादा प्रैक्टिस किया जाता था? तो हाँ, see, the Nalanda Buddhist monastery continued to flourish till the 12th century, mid 12th century. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि वहाँ पे बाकी सबके बारे में पढ़ाया नहीं जाता होगा. इनफैक्ट इवन वैदिक डिसिप्लिन्स वर pursued at the Nalanda Mahavihar. So it would be quite surprising कि कोई और पढ़ाए नहीं जाते हो. Probably the answer would be all of them or at least a combination of them. एक बार वो क्वेश्चन देखना. I'll also search कि क्या है. ठीक है, उसमें सिर्फ महायान आ रहा था. अच्छा, हाँ.